0.8, size 8 beads, for the single strand necklace. Here is my hook. This is single weight hook, which is the smallest of all hooks in sizes. This is the smallest size in hook, which is the single strand, the single hook. It is known as single hook. I think that is all the materials we are going to use for the single strand necklace. The first thing that I'm going to do is, in single strand necklace, you can either make it to be a choker. When we say a choker, that is, it will not fall below your neck region. It will not fall below your neck region. It will not fall below your neck region. That's what we mean by a choker. Single strand necklace can also fall beyond the neck region. It can fall beyond the neck region. It can be a long single strand. So here it is. What I want to make now is the choker. That is what we are going to make in today's class. Choker single strand necklace. Choker single strand necklace. Here is it. I'll just measure a small, there's only for you to measure it, you just look at it. And you cut, this is my fishing line, I've cut my fishing line. This is it. Can you see how long my fishing line is? Then, I'll pick my single weight hook. This is my single weight hook. I'll pick my single weight hook. And I will insert my monofilament, which is also known as fishing line. I will insert my monofilament. Can you see my hook? This is my single weight hook. Can you see it? This is it. Then I put the monofilament together. I will put the two edges. Can you see? These are the two edges of the monofilament. I'll put them together, and here is my hook at the other end. Now, this is it. The first thing I will do is to string my beads. I want to string my beads. I will start inserting my beads in my monofilament. This is it. I will insert it one by one. And I put the two edges together. I'll finish stringing my beads. Can you see it? Yes. Just let me put the last one. Yes. So can we see, this is the remaining monofilament at the top. Now I'm going to cut the excess with my cutter. Just a little. I've cut out the excess. So here I'm going to insert this monofilament. To secure it, I'm going to insert it in this tiny hole of the single way hook. Can you see this hole? Yes, and now I'm inserting it. After inserting it, can you see? I'm going to insert it back into the beads in order to secure the beads from falling off. I've put it. Can you see the first bead? I inserted the monofilament inside it, back inside the bead to secure the beads. Then I will tie. Look at the way I'm tying my beads, my monofilament, I tie twice. After tying twice, I will insert it back into the next bead. I will insert it into the next bead and pull, insert again. I will insert it into the beads, back into the beads. Now, I think I'm okay with this. Can you see? This is a choker single way hook, single way necklace, a single strand necklace. Can you see that? Now, what I'm going to do to this excess, I will cut it off with cutter. Now, I've cut off the excess. Can you see? So this is my single strand necklace, single strand choker necklace. Now, I finished the work, the beads. Now I'm placing it on my neck stand. So this is the end of the class.
You're welcome back to Bead Making class. I'm Untitled. So I'll be taking you through 4 designs. So I have layers bead, I have beaded ball. This is a small size of beaded ball. I have beaded ball here. I will have my wire here, tools I'm going to use. I have ramos, I have cutter, my monofilament, teardrop bead, size 8 bead. I have my hook, multi-way hook, and I have divider. And this is the beaded ball as well. Depends on the size of the bead that you're going to use for it. So the first one I'm going to be taking, I want to take the layers bead. So let's get started. So I have monofilament 0.35. I'm going to cut the size of the mono that I can control. We don't measure fishing line, we cannot measure fishing line, we only measure neck. And the size of what we want to do, we don't measure fishing line. So I'm cutting this with my cutter. And I'm going to make use of my multi-way hook. Insert my mono on the first hole of the multi-way hook. So I'm going to bring the 2 more together, 2 more together, and I'm feeding my bead. This layers bead is divided into 3 parts, as you can see. This is the first part of it, this is the second, and this is the third one. So we are still on the first part of it, and I'm going to insert my divider, which is here. The first side, the first part of this layers bead must be equal with the third part. So this and this is the same thing. It's only the second part that is different. So what I have here must be the same thing with what I'm going to have here. This is the one that's going to be different. So I'll continue with my bead. Okay, so this is the first part, the second part, then the third part. I'm still going to insert my divider as well. Then I'll continue with the third part. I said earlier that this part must be equal with the last part in terms of number. So I have 16 beads here in the first part, so I'm going to have 16 as well here. I am through with the third part. I'm going to insert this my mono into this multi-way hook. I enter the bead on this other part to secure the bead. And I'm going to tie it. After tying it once, so I'll enter another one, the next bead on that same line. Enter another one as well. Now tie it again. I'm going to enter the next one so that my finishing will not show outside. So I just want to enter like 2 or 3 more beads, and I'm done with the first one. So this is the first layer. So I have the first one, first part, the second, and the third part. So I'm going to continue the same way. I'm feeding my mono into this hole. Cut the mono with my cutter. Don't forget the first one is 16, so I'm still going to have the same thing, 16. I have 30 here. I'm going to increase this 30 by 4. This is going to be 34, and this is going to be 16 as well. Okay, so this is the second layer. So I have 16, the first one, 30, and 16. And I told you that the first part must be equal with the second part. So this first one is 16, the second one here is 17. So definitely I'm going to have 17 on this part as well. So this is 30, I have 33 here. So, and in my divider, I use this divider to divide this into 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. So, 1 hole, you leave 1 hole and enter the second one. The first hole for the first layer, then you leave the second hole and enter the third one for the second one. If you are going to do the first, that's how you will be doing it. You leave 1 hole and enter the next one. So I'm going to leave 1 hole here, enter the next one. So I'm going to have 17 here. I have 16, 16, 17, 17. So I have 17. It's complete now. So I'm going to leave 1 hole at the back as well. I'm going to leave this one and enter the third one. The first hole and the multi-way hole. Then I leave the second one, enter the third one. And I'm going to enter the first bead to secure the bead. And I'm going to tie it. Pass it to the next one, 2 or 3. To the next 2 or 3 beads. 1. 2. Still going to tie it as well. So this is what I have. If you are going to do 4, 5, I'm going to cut the excess. If I'm going to make it 3, 4, 10, this is how I'm going to continue. 16, 17, the next one 18, 19, 20, and I will be increasing this one. It depends how I want it to be. I can increase it by 4 in the front. I can increase by 3. It depends what you want, how dropped you want it to be. So this is all about the layers. So if this is 4 layers, it's the same procedure. In this one we have 18, and this is 34. 19, and this is 38, like that. So this is how we're going to continue till you finish. This is all about layers bead. It's the same thing as multi-strands bead. So we make use of hook in these layers, hook, divider, and bead itself.
So there were 3 questions here that I want to ask you. I want you to shed more light on it.
Okay.
So when you are making the multi-strand design, the one that you also call the layer,
Yes.
you said the layers is divided, or the multi-strand design is divided into 3 parts.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the material that is used to differentiate one part from the other parts?
It's divided.
Divider.
Divider is used to divide, to differentiate this one from the other part. First part, second, and the third. So you can see that it is divided as dividing the separate 3 parts from each other.
Okay.
So it's
So
called
divider is called divider. Divider will divide the first part from the second part
and the
third
third.
part. Okay, thank you. Then earlier we mentioned different types of beads, like crystal, like plastic, and so on. Which type of beads is commonly used for making for multi-strand design?
It's crystal, because if you look at it almost everywhere, it is crystal that you see around.
So it's
And
glittering.
yeah, so
It's
it's
glittering.
crystal.
So we call it okay, crystal beads. Thank you. Then also you said you can the second part you can use different number of beads depending on how long you want the second part to be. What's the minimum number that one can use?
3.
That is the
As you can see, in this particular one, I used 4 to increase the second part. Then I use 3 here. So 3 is the minimum that you can
use to
use
increase.
to increase the second part.
Thank you.
Now, I want to start the second design. And the second design is called Beaded Ball. This is Beaded Ball. Beaded Ball is made up of 30 beads. I'm going to use 30 beads for one beaded ball. So I'm going to count out 30. So this is 30 for beaded ball. This ball is made up of 30. This is the small size of beaded ball, and this is another size of it. So the foundation of this beaded ball is 4 crossed with 1. Beaded ball is always a circle of 5. It must be a circle of 5. It is mainly circle of 5. It has to be circle of 5. Once you don't have 5, that means you made a mistake. So the foundation is 4 crossed with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 beads. I'm going to cross with 1. Crossing is the same thing as interchange. So I'm crossing. I'm going to interchange in this 1 bead. So I have circle of 5 already. 4 cross with 1. The continuation is going to be 3 cross with 1. In beaded ball, when you are feeding your bead, for you not to make mistake. Okay, so I said earlier the foundation of beaded ball is 4 cross with 1. Okay, and continuation of this is going to take us through 11 steps to have this ball. So the continuation is going to be 3 cross with 1. 1, 2, 3. Remember I said earlier on when you are feeding your mono in beaded ball, make sure you feed the left hand side so that you will not miss it. Feed the left hand side. So 3 cross with 1. Then you pass through 1 with the right hand side. That is, you enter the next bead to that mono, the first bead, you enter into it to connect it together. 3 cross with 1, pass through 1. That's the next step. And the next one is going to be 2 cross with 1. That's the third step. 2 cross with 1. So I'm going to pass through the next bead as well with the right hand side. Remember, feeding the left hand side, and you pass through with the right hand side. Now enter 1. Then number 4, the fourth step, still going to be 2 cross with 1 and pass through 1. So the fifth one, I'm still going to have 2 cross with 1. I'm going to have 2 cross with 1. Always remember to feed your left hand side so that you will not mess it up. I'm going to have 2 cross with 1. And this time around I'm passing through 2, not 1. I'm going to enter 2 with my right 2 bead. I'm going to enter 2 bead with the right side. So this is what I have. Then I'm going to have 1 cross with 1 now. 1 cross with 1. The sixth one is 1 cross with 1. And I'm going to enter 1. On the right hand side, I'll enter 1, pass through 1. So this is the half of the beaded ball. 1 to 6. This is the circle. So if you have gotten to this stage, that means you are correct. If you check it all through, it is circle of 5 all through. And this is the circle. So you have gotten to the middle. So the next one is going to be 2 cross with 1. 2 cross with 1. And you are going to pass through 2. Don't forget, feed your left hand side so that you can pass with your right hand side. So I'm entering 2. I'm going to enter 2. So the next one is going to be 1 cross with 1. 1 cross with 1. So I'm going to pass through 2. So I'm going to have 1 cross with 1 as well. 1 cross with 1. I'm going to pass through 2 as well. Pass through 2 as well. Always remember to pass with your right hand side and feeding the left hand side so that you don't make a mistake. So the next one is going to be 1 cross with 1, and I'm going to pass through 3. Remember, we are making use of 30 beads to make just 1 ball. So I'm going to enter 3, passing through 3 with your right hand side. Don't forget, always feed the left hand side and pass through with the right hand side. Now I have 1 bead left, so I'm going to cross with that one, just 1. You can see that I have circle already, I have ball, complete ball. So what to do is just to pass around this circle and tie it. So I'm going to tie it like this. If you want to arrange it as necklace, so you put in another bead so that your mono will not be showing inside. So just open small, just put in one bead inside, then you can now tie it. So this is our ball. 30 bead, you can see 30 bead for just one ball. If you count this, it's 30 as well. Don't forget it must be circle of 5. Thank you.
Making the beaded ball.
Yes,
I noticed that when you get to the, let's say the first place or the half of that ball, you show us that it must look like a ball. But how many beads did you use that get you to that first place?
20 bead.
So since you said
The whole bead for the ball is 30. To get to that half of this ball is 20.
Okay. Then the second,
And the second part is 10.
The second is 10 beads.
Yes. Now the third design. We are done with layers, we are done with beaded ball, and the next one now is weaving or matting. We call it bead weaving or bead matting. The reason why we call it bead weaving, when you start it, the starting of this is 3 cross with 1, which is going to be circle of 4. It looks like weaving. By the time you expand, it becomes matting. So that's why we call it bead weaving, and at the same time we call it bead matting. So the foundation of this weaving is 3 cross with 1, which is circle of 4. Three cross with 1, which is circle of 4. As you can see, I have 4. Then the continuation of this now is going to be 1 bead on my left hand side, 1 on my right, then cross or interchange with 1. I'm going to feed in 1 bead to the right hand side, another one to the left hand side, then I'm going to interchange with 1. Circle of 4. Okay. So let's assume that this is the desired length that I want to make. One cross with 1. Don't forget the foundation is 3 cross with 1. The continuation is 1 on the left, 1 on the right, cross or interchange with 1. Now I want to expand. I want to expand this bead. And I want to feed my left hand side. You can feed either right or left, but I want to feed the left hand side with 2 beads and cross with 1. And I'm going to do that twice. 2 bead, cross with 1, and I'm doing that twice for expansion. Expansion is the same thing as repositioning. Expansion is the same thing as repositioning. Feeding the left hand side with 2, then cross with 1 twice. That is, I'm going to repeat that. So, as I said earlier, that expansion is the same thing as repositioning, that I'm feeding my left hand side with 2 bead, cross with 1, and I'm doing that twice. So I've done it once. This is the second time. 2, cross with 1. I'm expanding, and at the same time it's repositioning. So this is what I have. Because it's repositioning, I just have to change my mono like this. So you have 2 hands, you have left and you have right. Now in this expansion, you are going to be feeding the mono outside with 1 bead. You are going to be feeding the right hand side with just 1 bead. Then the mono inside, you are going to be using it to pick the already built one after the other. So I'm going to enter the next bead on this line with my mono on the left hand side. I'm going to enter into just 1. Okay, so I'm going to take another one to cross with. Don't forget crossing is the same thing as interchange. This is it. I want to do the same thing. The one outside, which is the right hand side, you feed in one bead, and the left hand side, you enter into the next bead. Enter into the next one. Then you take just one bead to interchange with it or cross. So that's how you're going to continue, and this is what we are going to get. Now the last design, which is the fourth one. Don't forget we are through with the layers bead, the beaded ball, and the matching or bead weaving. Now we are going to do Caribbean with wire. So I'm going to be using round nose, which is for looping. I'm going to be using my cutter to cut the wire. So this is my wire, and this is my bead. The bead I'm using to make this is teardrop. So just insert my bead into the wire, then I'm going to use this round nose to loop. Looping is the same thing as bending, because I'm using this round nose to bend my wire. So that is called looping. That is called looping. So I'm going to cut this part. So if you look at it, my looping is facing this side. At the other end, it will be facing another. That's the opposite direction. So this is what I have. This is my loop bead. So I'm going to do the next one. The same thing. Looping the bead. So this is what I have. So I'm going to connect them together. So these two beads, I'm going to connect them together. This is connector. This is where we come about connector. So this is what I've connected together. So I want to connect it together now. So I'm going to open up this, connect with this. Or let me use this one. Connect it with this. Close it back. I'm going to open this one as well. Connect with this and close it back. So that's how I'm going to continue to the desired length. So now I am going to connect this together. This. So I have don't forget that bending your wire with round nose is called looping. So I'm looping my bead. So open up this with this. So I'm going to open this one. Put this one and close it back. So if you look at the length of what I have now, this is Caribbean. This is Caribbean bead. So I'm going to put my hook. Now this is what I have. So I am okay with the length. This is my desired length. This is what I want to use. So I can decide to make use of hook, which is single hook, and at the same time I can use my wire to make hook. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my round nose to make circle. using my wire to make a hook. So I'll just open up this place, put the ring and close it back. And on the other hand, I'm going to make, just take this part and bend it like this. And I'll cut it. So this is what I have. So I'm going to loop it. I'm going to loop. Don't forget I said that whatever it is that you use your round nose to do is called looping. Round nose is for looping. So anything you use this round nose to do is called looping. You are using it to bend. You are using it to write 0. You are looping. So this is it. Bending it this way. 0. So I'm going to insert it here. Close it. And of course I'm going to bend this. This is my hook. So, this is what I have. This is my Caribbean beads. Don't forget we have done beaded ball. It is not compulsory that I put this beaded ball there, but depends how creative you are. If you want to add a beaded ball, you can put it there. If you want to add any other thing, you can add to it. It is not this particular bead that you can use for it. You can use any of the beads. You can use plastic bead. You can use this small crystal size to make your Caribbean beads. Depends on what you want. So this is teardrop. So I just had to add more beauty to it by adding the beaded ball. So this is my Caribbean beads.
So, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
When you are talking about the bead matting,
Yes, ma'am.
you say you are mentioning expansion, you are expanding.
Yes, ma'am.
How is that expansion carried out?
Expansion is 2 cross with 1 twice.
So that means to carry out the expansion, you must cross 2 beads with 1 bead and do it
twice.
So that means the total number of beads that one can use for expansion is
6. Yes, ma'am.
Now, we all know what bead weaving is from the earlier class. So here we have this is bead weaving, and we've already listened to the other facilitator when she talked about bead weaving and how to expand, how to reposition and expand. So to do this bead weaving, we call it closed bead weaving. Closed bead weaving. When we say closed bead weaving, we are to expand closed bead weaving twice. We are to expand closed bead weaving twice. After the first bead weaving, we insert 2 beads, cross with 1 twice. After we must have finished the second one, as the other facilitator has taught us, we do another expansion by inserting 2 beads, cross with 1 again. That means we are expanding this bead weaving twice. After expanding it twice, what do? We close it. we are going to have a circle of 4 3 times, circle of 4 3 times, circle of 4 3 times before we do the last expansion. So here we have to close the bead, we make use of our monofilament. This is it. We insert the monofilament into the first bead at the edge. To the first bead at the edge, we insert one bead and insert it to the next bead on the other side. Then we insert to continue. We insert one bead. We cross with one bead. We cross with one bead. To continue, we insert this monofilament into the next bead on both sides. To continue, closing the margin, we insert the monofilament into the next bead on both sides, and we cross with one bead. We insert again into the next bead on the left and on the right. And we cross with one bead. We insert again. And we cross with one bead. This is how we continue till we finish